Good morning. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your morning flash update for this Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. Before I get too far, I want to remind you that today is the day we're going to have that live webinar again. I will open the gates to it at 12:15 Central Time. It'll begin at 12:30 and ideally at 12:50. It's 20 minutes long, fast fire. Bring your questions, your stock, your ETF, future symbols. I'll do my best to answer your questions that you have, and we'll make this rapid fire. It's appearing that the most favorite days are either Wednesday or Thursday, so while I've tried a Tuesday today, I'm not getting the response that we had on Wednesdays and Thursdays, so I've been in that experimental area of looking to see where you'd want to see these, and it's narrowing in very nicely, so that's good. In the gold market, stable. Copper down sharply today. Why is copper down? Because we're fearful that China's going to release out of reserves a large amount of their stockpiles of copper, aluminum, and zinc. Those are the three markets under pressure there. Dollar up in front of the FOMC meeting tomorrow. Most currencies lower. We're sort of in this weird pattern right now where the markets are going to hang on every word again of this June FOMC meeting. I frankly don't think the Fed's going to let on to anything at this meeting. I look for the meetings where that can happen beginning in August from that point forward. But the real problem is the transitory supercycle phase in futures as it run its course. Lumber down 40%. The copper was at 490. It's down 65%. That's well more than a 10% break. If you look at the grain markets, corn was just up near $7. This is a $1.30 break in that market to give you an idea. Bean market was 16. Now it's sitting here down at this level. So other than energy, which is still at multi-year highs and continuing to hold it, was that it? Maybe the Fed's got it right. That was the transitory move, and it's hitting us quicker than people think. Well, then what happens with labor? Is that transitory, and maybe the Fed doesn't move on anything at all? That's going to be what people start thinking about. And while the stock market's down from big-time highs, you got a lot to weigh tomorrow. Now, today you had the New York Fed, Empire State numbers. None of these are strong. Almost every category lower. Advanced retail sales, they had a low bar. It went even worse. Now, if you look at ex-autos, down 0.7. We know autos have been strong because there's not around. So whatever you can get your hands on, you do. April retail sales, they even made that worse. Where you see a little bit of price is in the PPI headline. They were up 0.8. They expected it up 0.5. Ex-food and energy up 0.7. They expected it up 0.4. That's almost double. Personal consumption up 0.6. And April final demand, well, that was not unchanged. That was left unchanged. Then retail sales, okay. So they were up 15.4% the first 2 weeks of June versus June last year. What does that mean? We were in lockdown all that time. So when you look at this, you got to throw that out when you're comparing to the lockdown period. Utilization recap. Okay, up 0.8. They expected it up 0.5. That's a hot number. U.S. capacity utilization, about where the market thought. The April number was revised up 0.1%. The prior was up 0.5%. And they revised also the April U.S. capacity. Nah, they left that unchanged. National Association of Home Builders comes out this morning, and they are looking for that at 83 versus last month's 83. And business inventories come out at 9 o'clock, and not much of a change they're looking for in that number either. So when you put this all together, it gets quite interesting. And how do you position yourself in front of all this for tomorrow's FOMC meeting? Well, that's what we'll be looking at, and guess what? That's what we'll discuss this afternoon. So if you haven't signed up for my webinar, you'll see the icon up here. Just click on it. That gets you right in. That's your sign-up part. You'll get then your user ID and password to come in, your seat reservation, and away you go. I'll open the gates, as I said, at 12:15. I'll start taking questions 12:30. We do not record this, so if you don't come, you don't get to see it. That means that I get an audience, and that's what the goal is here. It is free. All you need to do is, if you don't get anything, call my staff and they'll work with you at 866-973-2077. But this is the way to get it. Just click on that icon. I'm Ira. Have a great day.